Hello, my name is Gabriel Ndikon of the Confit Global Consulting. Mon nom est Gabriel Ndikon of the Confit Global Consulting Incorporated. Je m'appelle Gabriel Ndikon de la Confit Global Incorporation. Today, I would like to cover a very important topic in which I will link it to science, mathematics, and technology in the universe itself. The title of my presentation today will be The Omniquietness of the Creator as the Master Genius of All. I'll repeat my title again. The title will be The Omniquietness of the Creator as the Master Genius of All. I will link it to the eternal existence as well as time and the universe to prove his existence again, like I did last time. Before further ado, I would like to say this: for peace. Shalom, salam. Good morning, guten Tag, guten Morgen, buongiorno to many listeners around the world, and this is the Confit Global Inc. News from the founder and chairman in his house where the business is integrated. Like I said before, my business have a portfolio. I'm pretty sure that people will understand business. My business have a portfolio of $500 million. I am a consulting firm that have generated many branch of services in which I have the capability of generating up to 500 millions. Because 1,000 millions is pretty much a billion. So my portfolio is up to 500 million, half of a billion. The mission of the Confit Global Consulting, which is actually Charity Medical Foundation and International Trade Incorporated, actually doing business as Charity for Medical, Pharmaceutical, standing for the PH, Pharmaceutical, represented by the F, can be translated in other languages, and innovative technology. What do I mean by those syntactic metaphor that represent my brand? It is an illustration of characteristic of who I am and what my company is about. Medical innovation will be based on bio oscillations, cure, healing. It's a study of specific frequency that are released by every specific genome blueprint that represent a single individual that function with electromagnetic wave in the vacuum, which is our body, where the cells are, in the speed of light. when you take the ratio of both electrical waves that are produced by the polarities of the strength, the helix that compose a single DNA molecule. You have that polarity that attract each other because they're both charged, negative and positive. So to that electrical influx, it is you have the productions of a magnetic influx by magnetic attractions, and it will form an electromagnetic field wave. And when you take the ratio of both field, it will give you another field which is equal to the speed of light in a vacuum, because that's how our body is made of. The cells are contained in an environment that is comfort, and that is like the vacuum, no impurity of a different medium. We become sick because that vacuum get infected by different mediums like air, toxins, and any other pollutants or virus or bacteria or fungus in that medium. Now, I'm also linking that concept with the golden numbers, which is the number that God used to create the entire universe and the world with strict divine perfections. It is the number that the Egyptian pharaoh have used to build the pyramid that you see standing. You see standing because they use pretty much the practicality and the knowledge from the other world. See, Earth will stand forever. That's pretty much like you can see the pyramid, because they use that concept. It is the concept that you see when I'm still on the medical innovation. So you see when the Egyptians were building the pyramid, their work with a very high knowledge of mathematics. They have the most higher university in philosophy, where the Greeks would talk over when the Egyptian, would talk over after the Babylonians. They used to go into Egypt to study. So philosophers, they study philosophy. The concept in which the Egyptian used to live, they have the Senate, they have assembly, they have philosophy, but they were more conservative because they were afraid that the knowledge can go out and they will lose that momentum. And that's the reason why they actually lead the world for a very, very long time, because they were the only one to have access to that knowledge. So when Greek students start going to study in Egypt, like Pythagoras, like Thales the Millet, all came up with those knowledge. Pythagorean theory came from the Egyptology knowledge, in which you use the triangle to derive the size and angle and hypothesis and all this stuff. So that's how they use. Thales the Millet actually used the concept of the golden number, but he was not able to derive the golden number, and I was able as of today to derive that golden numbers. Thales the Millet actually use the concept in which God used to create the nature, the universe, pretty much everything, in a spiral form. Even in the macroscopy level, even if you look the snail, the way the snail is made, in the spiral level, when you take the concept of Thales de Millet, you have a triangle that is embedded in a bigger triangle, and you give code and mark for those triangles. Let's say you have a triangle A, B, C, D, and E. Thales de Millet concept say ABC, BC over DE will be equal to BD over over CE. So but those are what I call the ratio of two consecutive segments of a spiral. Now if you open that integrated triangle within the big one, it will actually form a spiral, and it is the same concept, and that is equal to a number which is always true at all time. And when you look how the genes are formed in a spiral fashions, and that spiral fashions is in commensuration and synchronizations with the electromagnetic waves. And the electromagnetic waves now also have directions in a three-dimensional inference. And you have in those three-dimensional inference, the electrical wave have the direction of the y-axis, and the magnetic wave have the direction of the z-axis, and the direction of the propagations, which is equal to the directions of the speed of light within the cell's vacuum mediums, are in the direction of x positively. So that's how you see it form. Now when you see the spiral form, the way it's formed, you can still use the concept of Thales de Millet, which derive the golden number. That's how God created. And that golden number is equal to a specific number, and it's actually called PHI, phi. So that's is equal to 1.816, and that number will always be the same, whatever the structure is. It will give you that number. Thales de Millet didn't derive that number, but he said the concept is clear. So you just say with the concept of Thales de Millet, BC over DE will be equal to, take the same angle, BE over BD over CE. Then I was able to derive that number. So that's the number. You see, when the Egyptians lost the power, many of the knowledge was stolen, was taken. And what the Greeks have done, they said, in contrary to what the Egyptians have done, we will write article, books, and we will publish that to the world. So when they publish it, it came out to be like they're the one who actually create those concepts. But they were not. They went to study in Egypt, and that's how they got it. So that's pretty much the point. So when a Greece, got into power, that's where they came up with all those stuff. But it was a prototype of Egypt, pretty much. All right. So now the pharmaceutical will be to generate a new form of drugs that actually come straight from the nature, and those drugs should be energical drugs in terms of complementing the electrical change that lack due to the infections of the vacuum medium in which the genes and cell operate. See, when you have a disturbance on the cellular metabolisms, which is how the genes, the cell functions from the nucleotide to the DNA to the compositions of the organs, tissues and organs, you have a problem, because those genes generates vital nutrients by the body to fight disease, to build energy. And when you have that infections of the mediums, it will change and affect the electromagnetic field of each cell. In which way? The amplitude of the electrical field will be affected. The amplitude of the magnetic field will be affected. The magnitude of the electrical field will be affected. The magnitude of the magnetic field will be affected. Therefore, the ratio will also be affected. If the ratio, because the speed of light in a vacuum based on Laplace and Maxwell operations and study are equal to the ratio of both electrical wave. So if you take the ratio of the electrical field divided by the magnetic field, it will give you the speed of light. It will give you another form of electromagnetic field which is equal to the speed of light. The same thing if you do the ratio of the amplitudes, you're going to have the same thing. It's also equal when you start using the wavelength for any sound wave or musical wave or voice wave or water wave. If you function in a vacuum, you're going to have the speed of light in a vacuum which is equal to what? To the wavelength over the period, which is in seconds, the time in which that wavelength reach a specific position before it change again, start again to the same form, which is also equal to the wavelength time the frequency, because the frequency is inversely proportional to the period. So when you have that, you start forming all these things, and you can derive those kind of drugs, those kind of medications, new form of medication that will have less adverse contribution into the cure of a person or patient. Innovative technology will be mostly based on the fact that devices that I will be generating, such as the medical emergency diagnosis, the body medical emergency diagnosis called BMED, will be a device in which I will have all the logiciel. This information is already saved, so a duplication of it will be a $500 million. End of story. So be careful. Take it and see how you can partner with me. And if you try to take my information to use it in your purpose, you're gonna face a $500 million lawsuit. So don't even try that. Now, the innovative technology with the BMed. The BMed role will be to give a diagnosis of any medical condition that the person have with specificity and sensitivity measurement, only through one device, through a specific organ. And that also will be using electromagnetic pulse, because as you see, my friend, the body, every single organ is electrified. Every single organ. Why every single organ? Because the body is composed of 150 billions of human cells. So those human cells have about, every single cell have 23 pair of chromosomes, and every single chromosomes have 2 pair of DNA, and every single DNA have 1 pair of helix strand, and every strand is a composition of nucleotide, adenine, thymine, AT, they all go together, guanine, and cytosine, they all go together, GC or CG or TA. So those combination are billion per every helix, and every single helix or strand are charged positively, and the positive charge of a single strand is a deterministic of the composition of a single DNA molecule, and is also the same with its cousin DNA, because one chromosome have 2 pair of DNA. So you just need to have one positive strand to find the combination of that DNA molecule, the structure of that DNA molecule. You do the same thing for the cousin DNA molecule. Pretty much the same. Now, each strand are charged positively and negatively. The first strand is positive, the second strand is negative. And that's where you have electrical charge that are charged differently and attract each other and form an electromagnetic field. So your body is pretty much electrified, and your cell function in the speed of light. That's how God made your body. But people don't know that. The speed of light is about I say again, is about, because it's like 2.9987, and you have a lot of numbers, time 10 to the power 8, meter per second. Now, when you reduce it to a single digit, you have about 3 times 10 to the power 8 meter per second. So that's how it functions. So you have your cell that function with that exact speed, and it can be reduced when it is infected by toxin, virus, bacteria, or any other bad substances. That's how you become sick. When you become sick, is because your electromagnetic field do not have the same amplitude and magnitude as it was made when you were healthy. Therefore, it will not function accordingly. His cellular metabolism will be affected. Even though that his methylation structure might be affected, the DNA molecule structure might not be modified, but the frequency that will be emanating from every single DNA molecule, I mean from the nucleotide, the protein nucleotide, will be affected and will not function accordingly. It is called microepigenetics. You see, so defining how the gene functions like a human being. That basis is what make you standing and function normally. Now, and then the second part of the innovative technology after the BMED, you will have another device that will be coming that will be called the bio oscillator healer, and that will save a lot of life. That's all I can say at this moment. I was running today, and I feel so well. I was laughing, I was running today, and I feel so well. I feel so well, my friend. You have no clue. I had about less than 24 hours with no eating. You see, the food that we eat is a big contributor to our sickness. Trust me, my friend. That's the reason why it's very important to eat healthier, exercise, and pray. Now, let me introduce the Almighty, the great architect of the universe, the genius, the higher intelligence, and the master of all knowledge, the great Elohim Yahweh. This is a thing that I mentioned. People are saying that God do not exist, and I will use mathematical and physical concept as well as religion to prove that he does, and I'll prove to you that he's actually present when you believe he's not. I'll explain to you combination of physics, chemistry, bioethics, epigenetics, with the concept in which can only derive from a person like him, from an entity like him. The Bible said, Jesus Christ said, your body is a holy temple. Let me find a correlation between what he said and what I explained earlier. I said to you that your body functions in a vacuum. The vacuum is a medium that do not have any other entity such as air or dust. It's clean. It doesn't have any other interference. That's how the heaven are. The third heaven. And the third heaven have 12 entrances. And the third heaven function pretty much with the universal intelligence. It means you function with your thought. That's how advanced that technology is. So now, the point is, your body function in a vacuum, in a speed, the speed of light, which is faster than the speed of sound. That's the reason why when you see a lightning, when you see a lightning, what happens is you see the light first before you can hear the sound. It's because when both come, because the speed of light is faster than the speed of sound, you will see the light first and then the sound will come later. That's the reason why. So far in this dimension, the speed of light is the fastest. So imagine that your body, your cellular, your systolic compositions function in the speed of light. Imagine that. Because it's in vacuum, it's pure. And he does have 12 entrances. When you start looking the supernal world, your body have 12 entrances too, for blessings and cure. And cure. It comes from those 12 entrances. So that's why you say your body is a holy temple. So now, many people derived that there is not such a thing like a person who controls the entire universe. We are part of the universe. We are part of the universe. The universe is a process in time. It means the universe unfolds. We are part of the universe. Our life circumstances unfold, bring up new stuff that we have not seen before. Now, existence is a wall of time from a far distant past to a far distant future. Pretty much from a far infinite distant past to a far infinite distant future, as integrated in an infinite time interval. That is eternity, that's composed of the eternal existence. If eternal existence is an existence which is part of a wall of time from an infinite distant past to an infinite far future integrated in an infinite time interval, what does that mean? Existence is not in time. Like I told you, there are certain things that exist but do not depend on time because they don't age. Time was put in place to observe the unfolding of the universe, and you're part of it. You're born today, you're gonna age tomorrow, and you die and you move up to your next lifetime. So existence is not in time, but time is within existence. And because time is within existence, the universe is a process in time within existence. So the universe is a process in time within eternal existence. In other words, the universe, which includes us, is a process in time within a wall of time from an infinite distant past to an infinite far future as integrated in an infinite time interval. What is it? The manifester that you have from that infinitesimal point of view that I have explained from the primordial thought. The primordial thought represents that eternal existence in which we are part of in process. When I explain that at the primordial thought, God created every single being spiritual beings for each one of us. You are who you are because you have a spirit. Your spirit is above, is unfolding. It is what makes you a higher species than any other species. Animals don't have spirit, they have a soul. And I define a spirit as an eternal, before I even talk about this, an eternal cosmic algorithm in time space. And I determine and define the soul as an eternal genome identifier of a spirit. Why is it genome? Because it represents you specifically, born at this specific time, from this region, with this color, exactly from this family. The soul is a form of spirit. Like you can say an eagle is a form of bird. That's what it is. Therefore, you cannot say that a bird is an eagle, but an eagle is a bird. Because a bird represents all sorts of bird. I hope you understand what I mean. I'm talking here. So a soul is a form of the spirit. Very good concept. Bird have many generated species. Then every single generated species is a category of bird, but with specific name. Your spirit structure that was created at the primordial thought with all the characteristics that you possess today generated this soul in which you are today, and is still in process. Generated the soul. And that spirit, like many birds, have many different category of bird with specific names. It's the same thing as you, who started long time ago from that infinite distant past and moving forward, delving the present where you are and moving forward to that infinite far future through that eternal existence of perfections to reach divinity, where you take your place in the kingdom of the Almighty. Jesus Christ did it in one single lifetime. He was able to do it. He was able to do it. And he got it done. But in order for you to do it, you have to function according to the universal law. The universal law is a law of balance and compensations of true justice, true equality, and true rationality. It doesn't function with this imperfection that we have here. When you see the proof of what I'm saying, just look how the planets are in space. They all are in equilibrium, despite the rotation, the movement of rotation and revolution around the sun, around the star, as well as their own moon around themselves. They are all in equilibrium. This is the proof that the universe functions in a law of balance. In the concept in which the universe is in time, the universe is unfolding, is unveiling in time, within that wall of time, from a far distant past to a distant past, infinite distant past, to an infinite far future, integrated, included in that infinite time interval. You go through that process. If existence is not in time, it means existence have existed before time. Because it passed time, it does not depend on time. In this earth, time is everything. Time is even the weapon that resolves balance. Time is even a weapon that resolves problems. Time is even the weapon that resolves uncertainty. Time is even a weapon that resolves unanswered questions. Time is even the weapon that brought darkness into light. Time is a weapon that unveils what was missing. Time is even the weapon that derives what was right or not. Time is what gave the motion to Christianity. Time is what gave the motion to all civilization and religions. Time is what healed what have harmed people in the past. That's how important time is. But if you have an existence that does not depend on time, it means that existence have existed before the time. There's no philosopher or scientist who can prove this wrong. A rock, your generation over generation over generation over generation will see that rock there. Despite any oxidation that will happen, that rock will be there. That rock exists, but do not live in this dimension. Therefore, it do not depend on the time. in this dimension. The rock is emanating energy, but it's still there because it functions in a different form of time. That is not the same as the time that we have here. Mountain, you see the same mountain. Mount Sinai, you go over there, that's where Moses, all these people went to. He's there. They're all there. But the people who have lived, gone. Generation, gone. You cannot prove that wrong, my friend. Whatever knowledge you have here is absolute. Now, with the existence of your spirit, that makes you the highest species. There is no other species other than human who have a spirit. They might look alike because of genome structure similarity, but what made us different from the other species because of that spirit over there. Because that spirit is what possessed, is what generated that soul that you have. Or I can even say it is where your soul were generated from, with all similar characteristics. Birds have a series of different birds with different names, but they are all similar because they have the same similar genome blueprint. With small differences. It's the same thing. You have the characteristic derived from the spirit, your spirit of yours, which is over there, going into the process for perfection. Due to the universal law of balance, everything is balanced. Your energy pattern must be in a right path in order for you to be in synchronization with the universe itself, as the person who existed before time, who's called the power, the source, the creator, Elohim, Yahweh. The fact that certain people believe that he is not present, therefore he might not exist, I can tell you, it is called Omniquietness. It means he is quiet at the same time everywhere, but he's present. Like I explained last time, his quietness is even the characteristic of his presence. Do you want to refer your thought? Because when you're thinking, he knows. When you speak, he knows. So you don't have to even speak high, because some people like speak louder and louder. No. Your thought, only your thought, he knows. Because actually he reads your heart and your thought. Simple as that. They are not too much concerned about your mouth, because sometimes it does not reflect what your thought and your heart said. I hate this guy. I hate this guy. But I will say that I will act like I love him. God knows. So that's why they don't worry too much about what you said most of the time, because they look your heart. But if your heart is in synchronization, if what you say is in synchronization with your heart and your thought, you're good. You're a good person. Like me, because what I'm saying here is straight from my heart and thought. But let me tell you, certain people talk about the existence of evil and good, the quietness of God. My dear friend, let me drink my toxin-free water, so may I might not have a heart attack. Somebody is in Switzerland is wishing for me to have that, or something like that. Somebody is in somewhere in one state here in United States wishing me to have that. Let me tell you, God that approve that exist, function within his own laws. He built those laws, universal law of balance for peace and order. That's what the word cosmos came from. Cosmos came from the order of the universe, because the way it is arranged, the people who saw it say it's too much well arranged that we call it cosmos. Come from the Greek, mean order, well organized, balance. What did I say? Without order, what is it? Disorder. It's called chaos. It also comes from a Greek word. So, if you want to know the presence of God or the presence of Lucifer, let me tell you how to know it, because many people say he's silent. He's not. He's there. The point is this: he is the good side, and Satan, the adversary, is the bad side. What do good possess? Good possess love, affection, compassion, inclusion, rational inclusion, true inclusions, peace. When you don't have that in your heart, God is not present. But if you have those characteristics in your heart, God is present. You don't need any more, because you're inviting him. If in your heart and your thought you have a problem with a person, you can have a problem with a person, but you don't have it in your heart. It means you say, oh, but this guy, he did something, but you know what, you go home, you don't dream about it. You don't dream about hurting him, because it's not in your heart. It means you have a love. How do God function? With the spirit and the soul that you have. Your soul is like the point contact. So from what he created, from that spirit that is going through that journey, he contacts you. He read that soul of you. He read your thought. And your true self, which is that soul, which is connected to the divine intelligence, the infinite intelligence, is the truth. It never lies. It's the true you. It have all the characteristics that was giving the characteristics of that spiritual soul that is going through that process, because it did derive from it. So you have it. He never lie. He does not lie. What make us lie? What make us be angry or make us accept negativity, the bad side, which is the lack of compassion, the lack of love, the lack of inclusion, the lack of I can say fraternity, is the battle between Satan against God. Because what happened in your conscience happened first in your subconscious. So both of them tap into your subconscious. You don't have to listen to the voice like people say. I listen to no. You don't have. They don't function like that. They function deeper. Satan used the same methodology as God. So they tap into your subconscious. That's soul. So when they tap into it, it comes within you in a form of quietness. And most of the time it comes like it's not too much important. They're tapping into it and it comes into your conscience. And most of the time, because Lucifer knows that what we like, with our conscience, which is our self-ego and selfishness, he tap into your subconscious, to your soul, with idea that commensurate with your ego. That's how it functions. And when he do that, he do it so hard and with repetition that make you think that's the right thing. That's how the battle behind the scene function, my friend, for every single one of us. Now, when he do that, and the way he tap that subconscious commensurating with what your conscience have, your ego, self-ego and stuff like that, you do what you're supposed to do, it doesn't go through. Now he start accusing you. And every time he come into your subconscious and start saying, and start accusing you every single time. Look what you did, look what you did, look what you did. And then you see people start acting, I'm not wealthy, I'm gonna kill myself. And then he say, go ahead and do that. And then he tap again into your subconscious. And then God is there saying, don't do that. You stay quiet. So he doesn't talk too much compared to how Lucifer tap into your subconscious. Now, when people start hating other people, when you have hate, trust me, my friend, you have no explanation for hate, no explanation for envy. Many people are manipulating their behavior. They're hiding what they have in their heart, and what comes out of their mouth is the self-ego. See, this is what happened. When you come in, your true self is in there. Your true self, Lucifer already tapped it. Hate that guy. He know that's what your consciousness, which is your intelligence, is thinking. And when he tap into it, there's like a magnetism force that make it good. Hate that guy. And God come and tap and say, not good, forgive. And for a certain moment you say good. And then after that, Lucifer come again and tap your subconscious and say no. And you start, because that's what your intelligence say, your self-ego say. This is why your self-ego, it means your intellect said, I am who I am. I am me. Who is that person? That's your self-ego. Now, when he tab, he say, okay, that's exactly what he's thinking. So he tab in that and say, yes, that's exactly right. And then that's how many people go through. When people are talking about evil exists, they don't even know. They think when they say evil exists, it means that evil come and fight with you. Evil don't come and fight with you. Evil exists because he does exist in us. God exists because he does exist in us. We are the one who have to reflect their existence. The way we act determines their existence. When you have love within you, you accept. You have to accept. When certain people say, let God work through you, that's what they're talking about. You have to accept that flow. You're the only one. Not Jesus Christ will come and do that for you. Listen, certain people say, pray to God, he will give you strength. Let me give you a truth here, because I'm tired about those kind of teaching. If you tight your heart and refuse to accept good, God will not force it on you. Trust me. It's like a barrier. Even if he cry, it will be rejected because you don't want it. It will be rejected. People just don't know it. I hate that person and I need to have revenge. I hate that person and I need to have revenge. What do you believe God will try to help a person like that? Even if he cry, it will be rejected. And because he have a law, he doesn't force his will on people. He gonna attempt and let go. And he gonna observe you. Because out of many permutation and combination, they have all the possibility that can happen in your life and how it will be resolved and how the outcome will be. So when you choose one of them, which is already calculated by them, they just go and look at it and see how every outcome will come through. Pretty much because they are connected to the infinite intelligence, every choice you make, they already know the outcome. They already know the outcome. That's what it is. So when they see you, they see all possibility. They might know yet what choice you're going to make because of your thought. But as soon as you make it, they already know because they have that already there. They have everything mapped out. And we are the one who have to make the right choice. Because everything is mapped out. Good choice and bad choice. And wherever you're going to land. So, when you accept his will, you have love. You have compassion. You say, okay, you know what? I'm going to put my revenge on this person. I'm going to let it to God. And I'll let him deal with it. Now you accept him. You're opening your gate. And he can penetrate and work on that. So when a person is happy, a person have happiness, a person have love and compassion, at that specific moment, he is in the presence of God. But when you have hatred, dark heart against a person, anyone in the world, doesn't matter if the person is your neighbor, or the person is somewhere in Timbuktu or somewhere in Asia. It doesn't matter. You are distancing yourself away from God. Regardless the prayer that you do. You can do your prayer 100 years. If your heart is still dark, that you hate people, you have no compassion, you will be distancing yourself from him. He will not be present. Even Jesus Christ will not be present. Remember, I go back to the Bible. Jesus Christ said this: I pass on what you have told me. It is written in your Bible. What did I say? Like I said last time, I said to you, there is what is called karma, and there's what is called sin. Your karmic debt are from the primordial fault, that when you were created somewhere in any country, any region, you did that lifetime, and you pass through with the sin that you made, it becomes residual. You pass through to the next one, through that process of perfections, and you continue to sin. Sin are the deterministic of your present lifetime, of any bad you do. Karma are the residual of those sins that you have done in a previous life that was not compensated, because everything is equilibrium, and it roll over into your next one. So when you come in the present time, you're dealing with the karmic debt residual as well as the sin of that present time and the surrounding. So when Jesus Christ came and say, Father, I have told them, I have given to them what you have told me and teach me. What do Jesus Christ said? He is saying, I came and I did my part. It is up to them now. I don't want people to sit there and keep saying Jesus Christ, in the name of Jesus Christ, like it's a miracle, like it's a magic Jesus Christ. When he said, Father, I have taught them what you have told me, he is saying, I came to show you the way God wants you to live. That is primary mission. And I just don't know what is difficult for people to comprehend it. It is written in the Bible. I'm not inventing anything. Some people told me that I don't read the Bible. I don't need to. I did it when I was young, and then I have inspiration from the Holy Spirit who actually inspired people to write that Bible. So I don't need to open it. I just have to call up and then I have the answer. End of story. So the point that I'm making is that you have to live your life according to the standard of God. Anything will follow after that. Everything will follow after that. You don't have to worry about that. Therefore, Jesus Christ will come and help you through your hardship and difficulties. But you are the one who have to carry your cross. An example. Paul carried his cross. Jesus Christ was able to come and help him. Not to die like that, but they did. Why that? Why do you believe that was just a scenario, a movie? No, it was the reality. It was an example on how our life will be. And he said, if you love me, you will do what I have commanded to do. Certain people say they love Jesus Christ. They love God. You don't. If you really love him, you do the life exactly the way he did. Only with that word, all those disciples died like him. They have a life of running, a life of fear, and at the end they all die like that. If they die with very tragic death, prison, running, all this stuff. And today people would think it was just a story in the Bible and it's over. It does not concern me. I just have to pray and continue to hate a person, and then I say, God forgive me, and then everything will be fine. I am saving your time. Please, I don't want you to be disappointed when your time comes and your end time in this lifetime. Start living a life like Jesus Christ have proven and have shown to people. He came here to show you how to live according to God's standard, principle, and law. Why? Because God knew if he does not send Jesus Christ, people will live their life like crazy. And plus, sending him, doing that will be a proof in a spiritual word to say to Lucifer, yet the first Adam has failed, but the second one have proven. So therefore, anyone who's going to live his life like him, you will not take him. That's the big deal. That's actually what it is. It's not only by saying his name, but it's also acting the way he did that make that name that you call stronger and powerful. That's the reason why you see sometimes in movie you see a priest say the name of Jesus Christ, Lucifer start laughing. You know why he's laughing? It's not because that name is not powerful, or the demon start laughing and take that Bible and throw that pastor away. You know the reason why, or the priest or whatever person it is. You know why? Because you're not strong enough along with that name to make it powerful. You don't have a big faith enough. You have not lived the life exactly according to God, to the standard that Jesus Christ left. So when you say it, it does not come with power like it's supposed to, because you do not have that right faith. That's what Lucifer loves. But if Lucifer found a person who's strong, who have lived his life like Jesus Christ, who follow the path, who have faith, who act and accept suffering the way it comes, when he said that word of Jesus Christ, Lucifer will disappear, run away. Why? Because when you say that, it manifests the presence of angels that are ready to fight. Based on the level of your faith. That's why I say prayer is like a switch. So you have to pray every single time. The switch that manifests that faith that is in there. Spiritual conductors. That contain the current of blessings. So when you pray, you light it up and it touch, and you pray every time, it builds up your faith. Through action, it makes it more stronger. So now when you pray now, they respond quicker through that conductor of faith that you possess, that you have built. So you have to start acting like him. He followed the law of the universe. That's why you see certain Buddhists and certain Hindus, they follow the law of the universe, and they are good. Their lives are good. They live longer. It's not because people, they don't believe in God. They are in good harmony with God. You probably don't know it. They are in good harmony with God. Some of them, those who follow well, who have good heart, because they follow the universal law. Universal law dictates law of compassion and acceptance. They will die and they will go to heaven. You'll be surprised. And they will be the truth over there. But they'll be told you have done well. Because they have done well. They have followed the universal law. Jesus Christ has followed the universal law every year on this earth. If somebody slapped you, you gave him the other side slap again. He didn't say revenge. Hit him back. To love the person, right? So those who are there who have a reserved hatred against a person, who have some envy against a person, who have done something to a person, repentance is not about talking. It's about making a covenant with God, which includes changing the pattern and cleansing your heart. Through that, I've written a letter to the President of the United States. This is just an example. What I mentioned earlier, is generic to everyone in the world. Have love, compassion. You don't have love, compassion, you are distancing yourself away from God, and you are not living according to the universal law of balance created by God, who follow the same laws. I wrote a letter to President, and there was a mismatch, typo error. It's even a typing letter, so it's not even a writing letter. A typing error. What are the chances, the likelihood of making a mismatch in a typing? Even if you proofread it, if you read it again, there's still a possibility that something can be written wrong if the dictionary of the software that you're using or the protocol that you're using recognize that name. It becomes a problem. It should not be a problem, because first of all, it was not a writing letter, it was a typing letter. So likelihood of error is high. The typo can happen. People saw it like disrespect, and if the person to whom it is concerned have had a hecklism or a revenge to me, it is time for that person, it is time for him to really look that it's not too much important. It do not change your personality, it do not change who you are. People call God with different names. God have never in his history, you will never gonna see where it was written God have said not to call me like that. You will never ever gonna see it anywhere. But there are many names that is called. It doesn't matter, because it does not change who he is. Actually, it does not actually change his characteristic. Misspelling your name does not change that name in your birth certificate. So that's why I don't understand. So that's what I'm saying to people. That's the reason why I start explaining how evil and God act on our soul. If you have revenge or hatred against a person in your inner heart, no, that do not come from God. It's not because it is quiet that you believe it is right. It's not because of his omniquietness characteristic that people think the thinking are right. No, they are, those thinking are not right. Those thinking that are negative and destructive are purely evil. Evil do not fight against people. They use us to fight against us, against ourselves, against each other. Remember, when Jesus Christ was in the desert, what happened? Lucifer came. The aim of the conversation was this: believe in me, and I will make you the king, where you will be adored and worshipped by the same people who are going to crucify you if you do not, if you follow God instead. But that was a trial that God accepted to Lucifer to do for a purpose, knowing that Jesus Christ can handle it. And Jesus Christ said, no. Actually, Lucifer showed him what will happen. You follow me, city of gold, king and everything you have. But if you don't, this is what's going to happen. You'll be killed by the same people who are supposed to be your servants. He saw it. So he knew what was up. So that's the reason why I say to you guys, Lucifer is the commander of the reality on earth. Because already there. He acts on people. You know, people are going to say what you believe is right, what you believe is wrong. Nobody know what is right or nobody know what is wrong. Let me give you a certainty about that. If you want to do something against a person, to know that this is God's will, just ask a question. If I do this thing to this person, will I like that to be done into myself? If you answer, your answer will determine your side. Either you are with Lucifer, either you are with God. This is a test that will never ever lie, unless you are crazy, unless something is wrong with your mental state. I'm serious. If somebody come and say, this is a gun, take this gun. Now they put in test and say, will someone shoot you with the gun the same way you want to shoot someone? If you say yes, it means you need some mental evaluation immediately, because you don't even know what you're doing at all. Because you just want to have the revenge, and you don't even worry about, hey, it can also happen to me, so I can be killed too. So if you ask the question, would I like this to be done into myself, what I would like to do to someone else? The answer of that will determine your side. Either you are with Lucifer, either you are with God. There's no complication or complexity into this answer. It is a binary answer. If you say yes, but it is a yes, you go forward. You are with Lucifer. Trust me. If that action that you want to do is bad, if that action is good, you are with God. it is time to seize that thing that people are teaching to people about quietness of God. We don't know what to do. The opening book, the opening Bible, all of this teaching. Put it aside. It is time to face the truth. It is time to function the way God wants people to function. Everyone like himself. If everyone like himself, ask a question. Would I like this to be done into myself? What I would like to do to this person? You open any Bible in this world, it will be all true. No, you are with God. It will be painful inside because your self-ego, it was not the answer of your self-ego. But when we want our self-ego to be true, that's what Lucifer used. So he tapped into your subconscious exactly what he have sold that you're thinking. He's not there to tell you this is wrong. He doesn't do that. He follow our thought, our self-intellect, and he support what is bad in that self-intellect to make it look right. He does not invent anything. People sometimes come and say Lucifer come and he put stuff, thing on people's mind. No, it is our self-intellect. And what he just support that self-intellect. Mostly the bad one. Every bad thought in your self-intellect, that's what he support. He doesn't support good. Actually, he gonna attack it. Because our self-intellect also always have a binary outcome. You always have no or a yes. I would like to help this person. And suddenly you have, no, I don't want to do it. And then you say, yeah, I want to do it. No, I don't want to do it. And then you say, no, I want to do it. And I don't want to do it. You know, it's just you cannot counterbalance every single decision you want to make in this life. There's always a binary outcome. If what I'm saying is wrong or is not true, you tell me. I want to write this. No, I don't want to do it. No, I want to do it. There's always like that. Even if you're going to write it in a matter of seconds, there's always something to say. Write a letter. And through that binary decision you want to make, Lucifer choose the one that is wrong, and he pound it on your subconscious because he doesn't want you to do good. That's what happened. So I'm saying to folks, those who don't understand how I function, yes, I made my own mistake in my past. Maybe it was written like that, but those mistakes are mistakes that are clear. I mean, I didn't have those mistakes that people have pounding and rolled down there, and I'm coming into that. So if I wrote a letter to the president to whom it's concerned, and he have a problem, have never forgiven it, he have to know, if you can forgive a person for something, you will not be forgiven by God. It is a simple, straight characteristic of who God is. Do not expect him to forgive you. End of story. It is applied to everyone in this world, as well as me, myself. The reformation that people have put in place, I have told you that it comes from the leader of the Conquering Front. And I said that to you a long time ago, that what he pounded everyone into the puzzle to destroy my name. And like I said, the President of the United States feeling into that. Let me tell you, the only thing they refuse to tell you is that they don't want to tell you the truth about the true enemy, my true enemy. I am not here to accuse any person. I am not here to adjudicate people. I'm here to clarify the uncertainty. Even if the Holy Spirit will do it, I just want to clarify it with love and compassion. I don't have anything against anyone, but I want to clarify because certain people, I have to do my part, and the Holy Spirit will help, will do the rest. But I do my part because I have to. It is I'm the concerns. I'm the concernee. Okay, so I have to do my part. So this is what I'm saying. The same people do not tell you that when I was interviewing myself at the embassy, that same government questioned my high school that I merited. That actually my name was called at the national radio station inside the embassy. I mean, it started a long time ago. This is not new. What I'm saying here today is a repetition of what they've been doing. How come somebody have something that is clear, but you wanted to create a scene over there because you don't want him to move somewhere? So when people are acting, they are talking stuff. I never applied in Ohio State ever. My application, my name, I never made any application in that institution. All right? You can contact them if they have ever heard of me trying to enroll in the institution. Some people made a file and sent it over there. I am still alive. Columbus is only almost 2 hours from here. You contact them and they tell you where they saw my name, me contacting them about anything. I never write any application in that institution. I never have a contact with anyone in that institution. Pretty much, I don't even know in what location they are in Columbus. I don't even know the road, how to get there. But I know there's a university like that over there because of the name. So when people come up with stuff that do not make sense and people start believing on it, it damages a person's life. And I want to make that clear. Now, for the military, I joined the military. I was an intellect. I was already enrolled in a university. I was an educated person. So I did what I was trained to do in the military. Up to me to choose for a career or not. But that was not a career. That was a training for a specific purpose, serving the nation. And I want people to know that. I am where I'm supposed to be. For the UC undergrad, I have a choice to choose what program I want to be. Either, even if I want to be a medical doctor, it is my call. I have never signed a contract to finish a certain program in any specific college at UC. I was in no obligation to do so. It is me following my aspiration like any other student. There are students who came into those programs who decided to just take courses to apply for the medical study. Why? Because when you bring your file from that program, it is more likely for you to be accepted into the medical study. Every single person have his own plans according to the aspiration and the capability and faculties. It is time for people to stop that madness. I did my undergrad study for a very long time. I built up to 167 undergrad with enormous course that I believe many people in this earth do not. I was doing my research last time and I found out that few people in the world, in America, have a combination of certain courses that I have. I have a combination of calculus 1, 2, 3, and 4. Combination of chemistry, general chemistry, science 1, 2, and 3, as well as lab 1, 2, and 3, as well as I have the combination of physics 1, 2, and 3, as well as lab. Those are bases. You find people who have 2 in math, combination of 3, and maybe 1 in physics, and maybe 1 in chemistry, or 2 or 2. But it's hard to see a person who have a combination of all 4, 3 majors. And I also have a combination of structural mechanics. For momentum, moments, and physics combined, base calculus. And actually, the physics and chemistry I was talking about are base calculus. Right away. Those are combinations. Those are just bases. And when you look my file, in those 169 credits, I have almost 70 credits in mathematics alone. So you're talking about from the 100 level mathematics to 1000. This is not a lie. I have the data and I have those transcripts here. A person want to see it, he come legally and I'll show it to him. I am tired about those people going out there and defaming and sabotaging my name for any other reason than hecklism and jealousy. I'm not saying this because I'm angry on anyone, but I'm saying this because I want to clarify many things that have been going on around, a name of a name, a name of a name. I graduated from high school in year 2000. I put my foot in an university in year 2000. There's no reason why people will be procrastinating about my life here. The way I live my life today is the way I used to live my life since I was an adolescent, an adult into now. People just don't make their life or transform their life out of the blue. So it is up to you to find the truth. I used to live my life like this. It was very rare to see me talking on the street. You ask to any of my relatives, they'll tell you that. I do what I gotta do and come straight back home. And mostly my friend has always been people who live outside of my normal environment where I live, either academically, either in the professional world, but they live in out of the, so I never even spend time with the people that I live with. It's certain time, even by the time I left the place. Sometimes people never really saw me. That's the same way I'm living here. So it's not a surprise, and then people are telling you stuff about me that are not true, that do not represent who I am. Like people are gonna say he really changed. No, I made certain mismatch, but I am still the same person. There was no invention. People say he's really very true. No, this is the way I used to live. You told them, the people who are talking about me, those relatives, they are talking about me, you told them to tell you the truth, they'll tell you. But I'm telling you now, I have my book coming, we're going to talk the truth about me. And I want not anyone to go out there to say anything about me, as I'm still alive with physical and mental faculties to respond to my own life. I don't give permission to anyone. I don't give permission to my mother. I don't give permission to my brothers to speak about me without my concerns, because I'm still alive with all my faculty, physical faculty and mental faculty. And this is about my future and survival. I don't want no one to speak about my life without my mutual consent, legal consent, and accord. And that is a very important phase of this process. I had a choice to go to any program I wish, either to become a medical doctor or either to become a professional doctor. You don't going to come and say to a medical doctor, you don't merit to have what you have because you didn't went to a BS or AS or a master. You are wrong, because despite the fact that he didn't have that specific degree, whatever it is, he have the coursework that correspond to that specific degree. Therefore, he have the level that allow him to be where he is. You can say to somebody like me, who have more than 169 undergrad courses and almost 140 graduate courses, that he cannot have any decent job or any decent contract with his own company that he founded and created. And I say funded because I put my money there, not your money. And I structured the company the way it's supposed to be structured. And that's what I did. They're telling you stuff about me that are not true at all. I say again, I have not haterism or hate against anyone. My heart is full of compassion and love, but I have to speak the truth and clarification to certain defamatory accusation against me out there without proper legal procedures. People are talking to me like I was a kind of kid. You're going to ask the people who grew up with me, they'll tell you, this kid was acting the way you see him act like this since he was adolescent to now. He walked straight, his shoulder up, he was clean, he always quiet, he speak, but he sometimes loses temper when he sees something that is not right. But and then after that he become quiet, he reason, and that's the way I function, that's who I am. I never change. You ask the people who grow me, they'll tell you. This temper that since I was a little is something that God created me with. But since that, I never harm anyone. So that temper is there for a reason. Because I do what I do, but I don't harm anyone. I speak. My temper, I release it by speech. And when I speak the truth. That's the way I function. I don't go and take this and try to harm somebody or take a gun. I don't do stuff like that. Because it's not a representative of me. And I grew up out of that because that's the way it is. You master what what you have, who you are. Things that are characteristic of you. You become a master of it. Because you cannot take it off. Your emotion, your physical aspect, and your spiritual aspect are part of you. They are like tag. You cannot take it off. It will be there forever. The only thing you can do is to manage it. Know how to manage it. You cannot say, starting today, I will take all my emotion out. It will never happen. Your emotion still going to be there. Even when you're going to be dying, either you're going to be crying or you're going to be laughing. It's two options. Or you're going to be quiet. Quietness is another characteristic of emotion. There is no way you can take it off. That's the way it is. Even when somebody died, when you see his picture, either he was smiling, either he was so sad, either he was quiet. It is a manifestation of expression of emotion. So you cannot take it off. It is the way it is. You know? So the point that I see the fact that people are talking about, we have to get over it and move on. All those things are all defamatory. There is no legal justification to it. There is no legitimacy in all those accusations. They are all fairy tale, smoky mirror, and lies. People are talking to me, state and stuff like that. I don't even know where the place is. I went there once, maybe that was when, maybe for 4 years ago, for something with somebody else. That was even before I went to the military. I don't even know the route that lead there. I don't even recall if I even opened the website in my on my computer. That's how I am distant. I never did. I mean, I don't even know what people are talking about. So when people continue to do stuff, talking about stuff, I just look at them and say, what do you mean? What is wrong with you? You know, and that is costing me a lot because people are believing on it, and then my companies there try to get contract, and people are refusing to get contract because they still believe in something. That is not true. Somebody stay here with knowledge, and that can be released and help people around the world, and people are still there wasting time trying to make a point. You know, they try to make a point. What kind of point? I can be valuable. You want somebody to be valuable in something that is not good at because he have to satisfy you, or you want somebody to be valuable in something that is good at? It is your choice. Because if somebody want to be valuable or is made valuable in something that he doesn't like, he will never going to be happy. Therefore, it will come out some way. That's why you see some people sometimes they go and kill themselves with everything they had to say. I never found happiness because I never like to do this. That's just the way it is. Let me tell you where happiness comes. Happiness is a state in which a person have a physical, spiritual, and emotional well-being. That's the true definition of happiness. Somebody gonna stay like that and say, I just like to paint. When he paint, he made his day happy all day. Somebody gonna come and say, I just like to sing or to dance. You put that guy do something else, even if it's only to work in offices and analyzing data, he's gonna be sad all day. Because that's not what you want to do. That's not what, I don't even want to say what you want to do, because people are going to see like you just want to do what you like. No, that's not his aspiration. I mean, what he was created for. I mean, when he stay there, he's happy doing it, even if he do that for free. You never see somebody do something for so long time that he doesn't even get anything out of it. But people are saying, what are you doing this for? I don't know. I just do it because I like to do it. That is the person aspiration. That is called right there. You're going to see somebody say, I never liked this thing in the first place. That is not where it's supposed to be. So let people do what they aspire to do, according to the way they were designed by the higher power. I have chosen a path in which I believe I am aspire doing it. I'm very inspired doing it. You know, I have some good aspirations. You know, I am aspired when I do it. And that's where we're supposed to do. That's where we're supposed to be, and that's what we're supposed to do. So I have that president of Cameroon who sat there and make a decision that as he's alive, I will not see any success. Just by clarification, with no hecklism against him, no, with no hate, with no revenge. I just have to clarify. You cannot do stuff like that and claim yourself to be a Christian, or even claim yourself to be a believer in God. You cannot. God is not with you. Some people gonna say, well, if I hate someone, I don't mind if somebody hate me. You don't understand what you're saying. Hateism most of the time do not manifest only by word. It follow through action. That's what people don't get. It follow through action. There are certain people here that they say to them, I don't like you, They thought it was over. The next time they know, they're losing their position. They're going to hard time because the people don't want that person there. That's where that sentence become important. That's where he will become, when somebody said to you, I don't like you, I hate you, and then it followed by action like that, that's where you're gonna see how important and weighted that word is. Or some people get poisoned and they die, or they get poisoned and they get sick that they can't even perform. That's where you're gonna find out what, the power of that word. Today word, people just don't say word in vain. Their word are always followed by something. If people don't like you here, they're gonna try to do something to manifest what they said. You're gonna be like, I didn't know that he can go far like that. No, people don't say stuff because they want to say. They say stuff because they mean it from within. And when they mean it from within, they are forced to bring out like vomiting, because it's too heavy. That energy is too high that they cannot accumulate it inside. And that's why you see some people sometimes they hit the wall or they hit something because that energy is too hard in there that they have to release it somewhere else. It's not that they can speak it because they have to release it. And so when they say something like that, you have to be careful. So he sat there and say he do not like or want to see my success as he's alive. And our president, in which I wrote the first letter, one of the letter in which there was mismatch, I have the impression that he is supporting that. That is not the way we should move forward. I want to remind you, my academic level was questioned at the embassy. Something that was announced on national radio, in which I was not even informed. The people informed me about it because they heard, because I was busy doing other stuff. How come? Enrolled in the university, they question something that was announced on radio. On the radio. Nationally. I'm not talking about nationally. Just to tell you that these problems started long before I even entered this country in 2002. And the time that this country has wasted me, that I could not have any opportunity because of that, there will be a balance. Exclusively, somebody have done nothing to you guys, there will be a balance. Trust me, there will be. The creator of this universe will balance it. Either people want it or not, it will be balanced. And I don't want no one to point hand on me, because again, it is a law in which everything is applied. And the sooner people let it go, really, and open those opportunity and door for me, the better the answer will be. The longer it goes, the worse the answer will be, because it will be balanced. It might not be balanced in 1 year from now. It might be balanced 10 years from now or 20 years from now, but it will be. It might be in different generation, but it will be balanced. But it will be balanced in a certain way that people will be reminded of what happened in the past. That's how God functions. He do not do stuff out of the blue because he's hungry. When he balance, everything come out as a learning curve. That's how it goes. So it's not what I wish, but I'm sorry, and I'm sorry to really say it, it's not up to me. It's up to the universal law of balance. As long as I resist into this and keep praying, it will be balanced. I'm talking about not only here, everywhere in the world, where inequity and irrational mistreatment has been done to me. It will be balanced. And I want people involved that I mentioned some of the name today to know that. You can stay there, observe, but when the time of balance will come, you will remember what has happened in the past that has caused what is happening in that present time in which you will be observing that. It is just the way it works. Certain people come and say to me, got to remember, I serve this nation. I have a record, very strong record. In time of war, foreign war veterans, Gulf War veterans, I serve. People should be careful how they see me or judge me. It's not because the situation has been reversed or put on the way it is put on that people had the tendency of forgetting about that past that I have built and worked for, and believe this is it. No, it is not. It is not even close to what I'm supposed to do. I have not even started my life yet in America, because since I moved here, I have not benefited nothing. When I say benefit, I'm not talking about sitting there and wishing that thing happened to me for good. It means working hard but not having the fruit of my work. I served in the military. They saw how I was advancing. They did everything to cut it off. Came out here from the interrogation at the embassy. Came out here having the same situation. No one wanted to give opportunity. I must be observed. In Cincinnati, where I was supposed to go co-op, one of the reasons why I joined the Air Force, it was for this. Because I saw this coming, but I didn't have the entire picture. But I know something was off at the time. And I said, if I stay like this, I might have some problem here even to succeed. I am in Cincinnati State. I am asking for co-op. You know what they did? They brought a person who have so-called the company to go work in his house so that they have camera to observe me. And what are you going to pay me? $8 an hour. Is that crazy? Where do you ever see that before? In what story? When I saw that, something clicked behind my head. I like, boy, if you don't do something about this thing, you will stay constant. And I started looking to the military, hoping that it might solve the problem. But it made the problem even worse. But when I say worse, it also brought something good out of it. And people are going to come and tell me that I have not done my best, and then that the society have done its best. Was that its best? After 1 year of study in an institution of 2 years, with better grade and better courses, this is, I don't want to stay there and start writing. I say my book is coming, and I want anyone to stop talking about my life. I will make sure that that person have some legal warning as well. Do not make any sense. Went to the military, they refused to take anything that I have academically to put in the database, because they didn't want me to progress as well. That are stuff that when I remember, it made me stick into the decision that I made and look closely and said, God wanted this to be like this, to have my master and move on. So it is stuff that many people are missing into their adjudications, and they keep doing, believing that it is true, but it is not. I have a hard time here in this country for a very long time. I have assist and help my family in the best of my ability. Today, if people can say something, it's because people have hypocrisy. But I can promise you today, I never spoke of this, but I say again, I have compassion and love for people. I do not like publicity about something that I've done. I glorify God before myself. But here today, I'm going to say something just for clarification. I have transformed the life of many people in my family, for generation to generation. And I'm still doing that. There is nothing more somebody going to be talking about regarding that. I have transformed the life of my mother. I have transformed the life of some of my street relatives and brothers. So you cannot come and judge me and say that my life will be a life of lust. No, because you do not know me. And I've done it in less than I believe 5 years. In 5 years, because that process started actually in 2007. But the process actually for my mother started in 2004 when I was still in the military. Pretty much 2 years, 2 or 3 years after my arrival here, my arrival time here in the state. But I don't speak stuff like that. But clarification is important. And as well, I wanted to send a message to people, to the community of Cameroonian community, and the Cameroonian community who is in Cameroon and in the world. I want to be very clear. And I want to be clear. I do not like power. I do not like power at all. But this is what I like. I like to have a decent life with my family and do what I was aspired to do. Help and transform people's life for a very long time, like I've been doing with my own sibling and other people. But if God has chosen me for a higher purpose, I will be proud and honored to do just that. There's no reason for people to hate me for something that I don't like. If you hate what God has chosen for me, you do not hate me, but you hate God instead, because it's not my choice. Like I say again, I don't like power. I am someone who would like to live my life pleasantly. That's all I ask. Because all those stuff and power things are all vanity. At the end, you don't have the true happiness. But if you do something that you like to do based on the aspiration in which you were programmed to do, and have the life of people transform for a very long time, that is a true purpose that will bring happiness within you for forever. So I wanted to say this. I heard people say he have no job in the United States. He doesn't even have a place to live, or he gonna return back home, or he gonna start using drugs. He gonna start selling drugs. You liars, selling the future of that nation because you cannot stand and speak the real truth, not stand behind your back and keep talking about a leader have to go. No, a leader don't have to go. What must happen is that you speak the truth to those leaders. Stop being a coward and start talking about things that you don't understand. Because you stay there with hate in your heart against other people, against your own fellow, against your own patriots, because of your self-ego, because of a position that they gave you, of the guarantee that they gave you, a guarantee to sell the country indirectly to you. You have participated into that. Because when somebody is there, have served and brought the country into deep darkness, and you continue to deal with a person like that, you are contributing in the destruction of that nation. It is something that you have to know. Fear the fellow Cameroonians and other Africans who have contributed into this conspiracy. You don't know what that man is up to. You don't know what he have done in a spiritual realm against me. You have no clue. You enter a battle that you have no understanding. I do know. And if he listened to me, he know what I meant. And I want to say today, know the word out of the mouth of my mother or my brothers. Like I say, I am still alive with all the physical and mental faculties. No one speak of me other than me or with my consent and accord. I have a company that have a portfolio of $500 million. I say dollars. And I have a job, even if it pay me only $1 a month. Because that's what I like to do. I am continuing my educations, and I have a decent place where I live. I have a bed where I can put my head, and I have a couch where I like to sleep sometime. I live accordingly. If you don't face challenges, your life don't have any meaning. When you face challenges, it means you are exactly where you're supposed to be. But if you try to run away from those challenges, your life will be more worse. When I mean run away, try to do stuff, drugs and violence and stuff like that, that's where you're really going to end up going back home. But if you stand still and you look this situation the way it come and said, I have nothing to do with this, but because the nature have said so, I will fight it the way it came. With peace and tenacity and endurance and perseverance, knowing that it will be clear tomorrow you stand. I do not have any motion, and I don't want them to stay over there and thinking that they are better than I because of materialistic thinking. I am in my higher time as well as I'm talking now. Even better. If you don't see me back home in Cameroon, it's not because I am poor that I have nothing. But I have put in place a standard that I will not return there if I cannot do better than the last time I was there. The last time I was there to launch my business, I was humiliated by that government who manipulated the data with along with the work that was done at the US Embassy, not to let my work function there. So I decided that I will not put my foot there if I cannot do better than the last time I was there. I will not accept him to undermine my existence in this earth or the next. I don't care how many money he have. As far as I see him, he's a human being like me. And I can assure you that my relationship with God is more powerful than his. And that's my power. You want to come after me. You don't go after behind my parent or behind my brothers. You come straight to me. I have helped those brothers to come in this country with my suffering that started a long time ago, as it's going today, because of your action. When I see them, they're doing exactly what I have planned they would do. They don't do something that surprised me. Because when I decided to help them, I knew it was to open the door for them. And I saw all the possibility that can possibly happen in their life. But they think that they're doing stuff that will surprise me. But every time that they come and say stuff, I just laugh. because it reminds me what I have previewed. The only thing that I did that happened that I did not preview was the citizenship of my mother, because I didn't preview that. But it was a possibility. This is speaking the truth. So when he sit there, he wanted to speak about me, you have to be very careful. And I heard a lot of their mouth talking into communities about me. They do not know me. And I say again to community, to the American people, those local brother Cameroonians do not know me. I call them brother because we are from the same native. But they don't know me. They must stop and seize my name in their word and my life. It do not concern them, because I know who they are. Every single one who speak, I know. And I want to tell them, whatever the government and those ministers are telling them is a complete lie. They don't know nothing about me. And I will revive as well and be where I'm supposed to be. But again, if God have previewed me, predetermined me for a more higher purpose, I will be proud and honored to accept it, and I will do my work accordingly. With tenacity, endurance, and specificity. That's what I will do. You do not judge a person with a glimpse of an experiential lifetime and believe that you can derive a future out of it. You can do that. You are basing your assumption on inadequate data. Therefore, you will have inadequate answers and also inadequate summary and conclusions. And certain people are looking at me and said, well, he's not coming back home because he have this. Let me tell you, the first time I went back home after I came here in America, after 7 years, 7 years, you think I didn't have money? Because I'm not the kind of person who wanted to show myself. I am a realistic person. It took me 7 years. I was in the military. I have a normal salary monthly. But I said, I will go there when this happened, when I believe I should go there and do this. And I cried. Because when I went there, I went to the US Embassy, I met certain people, Things didn't work because the system is there to destroy people. But they'll go outside. We are a sovereign country. We want to be respected like everybody else. We want people to listen to what we have to say, because we listen to what they have to say. You have to make sure that what you're saying is the truth. Because everything that you say is just to protect your self-ego and your mission that you have against people. You set people to sabotage my company, sabotage my name, because you wanted to undermine my momentum, send it back, so that what God have previewed for me should not be in your lifetime or in this lifetime. Remember, I'm 35 years old. According to God's plan, I have another 60 years to live in this earth. So if you believe in your age that you have right now, you can live another 60 years. you are welcome to continue into your project. I hope that the exit don't catch you in that planification. But if you know that the exit is sooner, it is better for you to rectify your plans against me. I am very clear today, and I do not have any meaningless word. I mean everything I say, and I say everything that I am meaning. It is time for people to speak the truth and know the truth, because the real enemy is hiding there and people are pointing hand on the wrong person. Somebody say on TV, in order to battle Ebola, we have to go to the source. Why go to the source? Because to the source, that's where you can destroy the virus so that you can stop the dissemination. The source of my problems is that man over there. Unless people start looking at him, they will never find the solution of my problems. But I don't want people to do that. But I want people to be comprehensive, because I am in a mode of peace and compassion. If he was a right person, he should know what to do to me. Write a letter, send something to a donation to my company as a compensation for what he believes he have done. He have not done so yet, because he's an evil man. You want to go and turn my brothers and my mother against me? You are wasting your time. What I've done for them will stand for generations. And I take no glory for it other than giving that glory to God. I don't give it them. I have to move with my life. I have done what I'm supposed to do. So if somebody take his foot and go to Cameroon and start talking stuff about me like I'm miserable here, I'm not miserable. You see, I'm making a presentation in my house. I don't look like a miserable person. I might not make million now, but what is money? Money come and go, and money can come at any time. But don't judge people by money. Judge people by who they are, the character and aspiration they contain within. Because that is the source to success. If you don't have that and preview your success, you are working without any effective foundation that will crash tomorrow very quickly. But forming a foundation with tranquility and patience behind the scene is the best way to succeed. Everybody have turned running because of the influence that they fear. No, they fear nothing. They're just full of hate and jealousy. But I want to tell them again, I do not like power. But if God have chosen me for a higher purpose, I will be honored and poised to accept it and do it according to his plan. So I'm speaking today what is right and what is the truth. And I want people to know that, to comprehend that the enemy is there. He have seen something that you do not know. I know what he have seen. He have seen a future that he do not want to happen in his lifetime. They are just people like that. They have run all the card, and then the only thing they have left to do is to destroy everything else. As well as taking everybody in his side. So that's the thing. I am not a person that you're gonna sit down with and tell me to do something that I don't believe represent myself. I'll tell you, my friend, find somebody else. I want to be able to go and sleep in peace. But you have people here who are praying just for certain occasion like that, possibility like that, because they only think about themselves. How come two people can say we love God, we love Jesus Christ, but they don't love each other? What is it? And people believe that is the norm. That is normal. We don't love each other, but we love God. No, you don't love God. God said, you love me, you keep my command. Love each other. So if you don't love each other, you don't love God. Take it out. You love yourself. That's what it is. You love yourself. End of the story. You hate other people. You don't love God. You love yourself. You have lack of compassion. You don't love God. You love yourself. You have ideology of racism. You don't love God. You love yourself. Simple. You have a motion of discrimination or whatever. You don't love God. You love yourself. You have motion of rejection. You don't love God. You love yourself. You have motion of revenge. You don't love God. You love yourself. You angry about people. You don't love God. You love yourself. You don't want to see the progress of a person. You don't love God. You love yourself. You don't want to give opportunity to people. You don't love God. You love yourself. You want to be up and other people down. You don't love God. You love yourself. Let God put you there. And you serve people and treat them the way you want to be treated. It is very simple. And I see folks, they're there, like for them, the situations, money, prestige, positions, for them is a characteristic of the love of God. In what dictionary or what Bible or holy book you will see that? Unless you have your own book that you wrote down saying that you were inspired by God. In your own self-reflection and resolve. So that's why I'm talking today, and I mean this, and I want people to keep it in their heart. I pray into God and I manifest the presence of the Holy Spirit through my prayer. Then I know that whatever people are thinking of me, there is something that I'm doing right. If I can pray and manifest the Holy Spirit, there's something that I'm doing right. Therefore, I don't care too much about what people say. I don't care at all. And certain people come and say, that's rude, that's rude. Well, that's rude, that's rude. Why not you call yourself rude? Because the point is, if everything that come out of your mouth that do not satisfy what you're thinking are rude, maybe you are rude with your own way of saying rude. Because if everything is rude, at the end you're becoming rude with your own self. That's rude, that's rude. So you don't comprehend somebody, that's rude. Somebody is functioning the way you didn't comprehend it, that's rude. I say hi to the person, he didn't say hi back to me, that's rude. The person came in, I say hi to him, he didn't, he say something else, that's rude. The person just finished what he was doing, he's leaving, he says this, and then he didn't respond, that's rude. You have no clue of what the person is thinking. People always want folks to function the way they want. When they don't, it become rude, it become a problem, you got to change. Who told you that somebody have to change? I tell you something. If I do this to this person, will I like that to be done into myself? If you respond to it accordingly, you find the solution on, in all your answers. In all your answers. Possible answer that can be there. Everything is that we want that person to be changed. We want, based on what reference? There's no reference. But the reference here that I mentioned is that, will I like this to be done into myself? Many people are going to say no, no, but they are happy to see the other person in that condition. That is pure presence and characteristic of evil. You're talking about evil exists. He is existing in a way we are manifesting ourselves. God exists in a way we are manifesting ourselves. We are presenting ourselves. That's what I have to say today about the quietness, the omniquietness of the Creator as the mastermind behind all of all. Therefore, you can go in my website. Go in my website, www.njohmedfoundit.org. You can also Google me, Comfit Global Inc., Global Consulting, or Charity Med Found It, or Charity Medical Foundation, and I think you find me there. You can get me on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter or blog, Instagram. You can also Instagram, YouTube as well, LinkedIn, and G Plus, as well as MedSpace. So I'm pretty much all over the place. Okay, and you can go on my website and get a look the program that I offer and look for possible donations that will be inferred into the IRS chart and be published. So it is up to you to look into it very closely and see what can be done. Like I say again, I have a $500 million portfolio running many programs from medical, pharmaceutical, and innovative technology to spiritual awareness and consciousness, cosmic consciousness, critical thinking theories, financial advising, uh, environmental health, public health, biostatistics, and epidemiology consulting work. I do a lot of things, and research, consulting, and auditing. So it is a thing that can be possible and done if opportunity are made and put in place. All right. So go and try to do what you can do. Try to assist into this thing. And I want people to know that I want to be healthy. I do not like to eat any food, unhealthy food, that will damage my state of health around the community that I live in. I want to purchase healthy food in any store. I want to be able to go in any store without any fear to purchase healthy food. I know that when I eat my food, I'm healthy. Let me damage my own health by eating badly, instead of you creating scenes because of those evil forces that are behind. I'm tired of it, and it is not possible that I have to go to a general store and thinking that I will purchase something that will make me sick tomorrow. That is not the way human being operate. That is not human being operation. That is satanic operation that we are allowing within ourselves. All right, so let's work together into that matter and see how the inquiry can be assessed accordingly for plausible outcome in the future. And that's what I want to say. And then people around the world must know. They must know that this company will succeed. I will stay tenacious, and I'll put everything that I can to make sure that it does succeed. If America, that I serve and still love, do not want the success of the company here, there are many nations around the world where God can make the move to make sure that the company see the real daylight. So it is all I have to say here with peace, compassion, and love. Thank you very much, and I hope that this presentation has been a very profitable metaphorical illustrations of the power of the holy beings that control this entire universe, as well as our own life, second by seconds. Thank you very much once more, and I'll see you next week, and hopefully we all stay healthy. quality of life lead to better health. Let's work together. Auf Wiedersehen, au revoir, muchacho. Bye bye. And we are all in the same understanding, verging to a possible outcome.